It's an entire episode of Hot Topics on the Spotlight, starting right now. This week on the Spotlight, drunken tiger under the influence? How did Tiger Woods land behind bars after drunk driving under the influence? What does this mean for the rest of his golf career? Bill Maher's oops? What happened when he was caught using a racial slur during a live television interview with Senator Ben Sasse? And how did many celebrities react to this? MTNA, the latest on the MTA features that has MTA New York City passengers all frustrated. What can you expect in the future ahead? Find out in the Spotlight's newest segment, Guiding Spotlight. And Stephanie De La Cruz and Maximilian Mejia are having a ball as this week's guest co-hosts. Let's get it on and get this Spotlight party started.
Welcome to the Spotlight! Woo!
Thank you for having me here again today.
Thanks for having us. You're welcome. Well, this is the first time we're seeing you two, you know?
Yeah.
You know, we're back. We've been back. We're back from like it's been a long time since we've been back from all this, but we want to welcome our guest co-hosts joining us, and they happen to be lifelong friends, I guess. Well, first, I want to welcome a friend of mine that goes way back to high school. Well, you know what I mean.
We're both.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Maximilian Mejia.
Hello, my friends.
Yes.
Hello, yes.
And also
really
joining us at the Hot Topics table is a friend of Max and a friend of mine that we just met here backstage. So please welcome the lovely, talented actress Stephanie De La Cruz.
Thank
I
you.
shall bow my head for that. And you know, we have a lot to discuss, but this is one of the most exciting episodes that we're about to have, because today marks the premiere of a segment we like to call, go to camera one please, thank you. Today marks the premiere segment of our debut called Guiding Spotlight, in which we will shed exclusive light on anything in particular, whether if it's a special hot topic or celebrity guests or anything at random. So we are looking forward to that. It's exciting, isn't it?
I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah,
It
is exciting. We'll have more about Guiding Spotlight a little later on the show and through on out here. We want to begin with now. I know you made me laugh so much, Max, and sometimes you do, Stephanie.
Sometimes.
Backstage,
sometimes.
yes.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Well, you haven't seen much yet.
Really?
You haven't seen much yet
Well,
since we just met backstage.
Trust
yeah,
me.
since we did,
There's a lot beyond what you see here.
Oh, well, yeah, I see you're getting funny already, Max, here. But you
Depends
know,
on what you mean by funny.
well, I'll tell you this. At times, comedians can be funny in different ways, but they have to watch out to what they say or do on camera.
Oh, yes.
You know? Kathy Griffin got into a lot of trouble for beheading the new guy in office. But yeah.
The beheading skits.
Yeah.
I remember that.
But now Bill Maher is in slight trouble after he used a racial slur during a live interview with Senator Ben Sasse, who is a Republican of Nebraska, on HBO's Real Time. Take a look.
Adults dress up for Halloween. They don't do that in Nebraska?
It's frowned upon. Yeah, we don't do that quite as much. But
Wow. I got to get to Nebraska more.
you're welcome. We'd love to have you work in the fields with us.
Work in the field.
That's part of that. That's
Senator. I'm a house. No, it's a joke. Thank you.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, now,
Wow.
And you know, Bill Maher quickly apologized for using the word, saying it was offensive, and he regrets saying it on the air. And HBO said that the remark was completely inexcusable and tasteless, and that the segment would not be re-aired. And many individuals were calling HBO to drop him from the not lineup or from the late night lineup here. And look, that's the way the cookie crumbles, you know. I'll tell you this for sure. But let me just say that he did make an apology statement back from June 3rd when he said this: Friday nights are always my worst night of sleep because I'm up reflecting on the things that I should or shouldn't have said on my live show. The last night was particularly a long night, as I regret the word I used in the banter of a live moment.
Right.
And the word was offensive, and I regret saying it, and he's very sorry for it here. Now, the question is, like, well, how do you view this here?
Well, I'm grateful that he's sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But also you have to see that it was an impulse. I can tell that he said it impulsively in that moment. But he has to train himself not to use certain words on live. Like, you can't say certain words on live because things like this happen. So we're happy that he learned the lesson. I'm happy that he learned the lesson.
Yeah, but we also have to understand that this is the N-word he used on live television.
Yes.
Who hasn't used it?
Yeah.
Like, my take is that you can tell it was impulsive. Like, for me, watching it, because when you're a comedian, you use quick wits depending on what the conversation does. So that conversation clearly called for, like, in my head, I'm thinking, when he's asking, like, if it was me, and he's asking me, like, yeah, we could definitely use you on your field. I would have been like, what am I, a slave? I'm not a slave. This isn't 1825 anymore. Like, I would have used something like that. But
come out of 1825. We're in 2017 now. Like,
like, I would have just said, like, I'm not a slave.
He
like,
just got too excited in the moment.
Yeah.
He was like too excited.
Yeah.
Like they were exchanging irrational jokes, like incoherent jokes to one another.
Yeah.
Oh, working in the fields, and then he just came out with that, and that was just like no.
Yeah.
Or adults dressing up in Halloween. Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was not even funny. I guess it was his way of dealing with the awkwardness of the moment.
Yeah.
Because it couldn't have been something natural for him. Like it wasn't fun. They were trying to keep the show going.
Yeah. And his audience didn't seem to, I guess, take much offense to it. It was just the televised audience and everyone else who reacted to it.
Yeah. We also got to keep in mind that Bill Maher, he did do a show back from, like, if you go back to, like, the 90s called Politically Incorrect that aired on ABC, and, you know, but now in this time, I know he didn't mean to say the word, and I know, but he just really cannot stand. He's trying to, like, keep people from with the new guy, you know that it's like we're just gotta do what we have to do here. But you know, there are many celebrities that are really had gotten on him on using the N-word here. You know, Kevin Hart on Bill Maher has said was like, it's not right. It wasn't tacky. It was a bad judgment. And Oprah Winfrey said that he should have never used that word, and that he should have never used the word. But you know, like,
he did.
He did.
I can't help but wonder though, like, if that's the case, then none of these comedians should be using it, no matter what your background, no matter what your nationality is, or whatever the case may be, because Kevin Hart swears left and right, and that is a common word for him in his stand-up routines. Everyone. So I think it's like anyone who's like, if that's the case, just don't let any comedian use it then. Don't make it a big fuss because it was on live. If it's on live television, I guess fine, but then because when it's pre-taped, it's bleeped out automatically. So I guess that's why. But don't like. I don't know if it's just because it was a live television skit or whatever, but you could clearly tell like it was impulsive. So
right, it was recorded live on HBO for sure. Yes.
Yeah. So just you could respond to it, but don't make too much of a big deal. I guess to me, like, it's a big deal in the sense, but like, if it's going to lead to a lot of backlash, like, don't remove the guy just because of one incident. He's not one to really do stuff like that.
Right. Well, Wayne Brady. Oh, you want to say something, Steph?
I was just gonna say, Bill Maher just has to correct himself a little bit, and I think he can be great. He's pretty, awesome. He's been awesome for this whole time until he made this one mistake, and I think he just needs to correct himself, learn from his experience, and keep going, because people are gonna throw stones at you, especially when you make mistakes like that. So
are you trying to start a war on this show here, Steph?
what? There is no war written nowhere.
When you're
around
saying
there.
throwing stones at people, like
Well, yes.
That's metaphorical.
Well, yes.
Everyone,
it's a
look,
metaphor.
it's persecution.
I mean,
Everyone's
people make
gonna-
mistakes. People make mistakes. That's what I honestly believe. People make mistakes, and people will learn from their mistakes. But then you have so many people like throwing stones at you. Then you don't have time to reflect on yourself.
or tomatoes.
Or tomatoes. I mean, tomatoes are a lot nicer
Not really.
than stones.
But yeah, because tomatoes can be messy, like you're throwing pies in people's faces,
Trust me, tomatoes are no friendlier than stones.
I think he needs a vacation after this.
Yeah, because
Bro.
he's been doing a lot of trying to get the new guy out of office. Like, because I know he can't stand him for sure here, but I know there are celebrity tweets in addition here.
Larry King says,
Mhm.
I've been a friend of Bill Maher.
Bill Maher.
Bill Maher. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Whoop.
Oh.
There it goes. There it goes.
No, she's.
Lord,
No, wait, she's good.
save me. Bill Maher for years. Bill Myers for years.
You want me to help
Is
you
he
out?
going to get offended by me saying his name wrong? Because
No.
I'm
Just
sorry.
No.
just recorrect yourself.
Yeah, just correct yourself.
Bill Maher.
You got it.
Bill Myers. I've been a friend of Bill Myers for years, and there's not a racist bone in his body. Let's accept his apology and move on.
Yeah, why are many
Exactly.
celebrities not dealing with that? Like, before you get to the next tweet, I want to show a clip of where Wayne Brady spoke out on the talk here, and where I guess he didn't like the idea of what HBO chose to do. Like, well, take a look for yourself. Let's watch this.
To give too much credence to Bill Maher is to give too much credence to anyone who thinks like Bill Maher. So wait, clap. Because the thing is this. I was just talking backstage about fair. Fair is a construct. We teach our kids, it's fair if you work hard, you do this, that's fair. You'll be rewarded, that's fair. Fair really doesn't exist. I'm not trying to kill Santa Claus or anything, but I'm just saying fair doesn't exist. If fair really existed, it would actually go against free will. Everyone has the free will to be the way that they're going to be. Bill Maher is who Bill Maher is, and he's obviously done it to great success because despite his views on race, despite using the N-word, feeling safe enough to do so with the other hosts, I forget that gentleman's name, going,
Senator
and then
from Oklahoma.
and then
Nebraska.
apologizing for it
Senator from
later,
Nebraska.
going, oh, no, I should have said something then. Despite that, HBO goes, we're standing by our man. He's still free to go on and be rewarded financially to a place where most folks would never go, to still get a pat on the back in this business, to still get a pass, to say something like that, and knowing that there are other people in this country who would share the views of, well, I really didn't see what he did wrong. So no, fair doesn't exist because that guy can still do what he does, and because he said, I'm sorry, it's okay.
Well, what do you have to say about that? What you think?
I just think what he means is that he better learn this lesson for sure. Like we want to make sure he gets a butt whooping out of this.
I think
No spankings, please. Let's all.
Who said anything about? I don't think she meant that literally.
I don't.
well,
I use
explain.
metaphors a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a metaphor for like.
Explain to our viewers.
It's a metaphor for he needs to learn his lesson. That's what I mean by butt whipping. I don't mean literally a butt whipping. I mean metaphor. Like he better learn his lesson. He needs to get traumatized about doing this because he shall never do it again, ever.
Right. Clearly he wants him to be more severely punished. I think because like if it was anyone else, we would have been penalized. If it was a African American comedian, from what it sounds like, from what what's his name, Wayne Brady is speaking of, like that's what I think he is. Like he's speaking on both ends. Like we have the choice to do whatever we want, but because he simply apologized, HBO will still keep him. He still gets rewarded. Or like the thing is like I don't want to directly say that like he should be punished more, because honestly, if he's someone who's not really one to like, it's not like what Charlie Sheen did when he was having his mental breakdowns in public. Like there, he was doing one thing after the other.
When he was doing 2.5 Men.
And then he was still giving work.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Bill Maher, he never really causes any like ruckus like that. At least not the kind that would get people going like, oh, take him off HBO. Like, come on, I get it. He used a racial slur, but in the context of why he said it, it's not like he's repeatedly doing it. He's not one to really do it.
Right. Like,
so
let's just move on from that. Yeah.
Exactly. This is the one time where I'm gonna say, leave it alone. Don't see it as like, oh, it's because he's white, he's Bill Maher. Like, no, it probably has nothing to do with that right now. Like,
Right.
It's true there is. It could be that, but at the same time, it's not severe in the sense where it's to get him off of his own show over one thing.
Yeah, let me just say this, and then we have to move this on here. But the point is this. No one here in America should be allowed to say that N-word, because if you say it, no matter where you are, you're going to create a lot of racial tensions, no matter who you are or if you're around someone, all right? That word should not be used at any point, at no circumstance whatsoever, all right?
Yeah, because the thing is
I
now
don't
everyone
think
uses.
anyone should ever use that word.
Yeah,
no. I mean,
they shouldn't.
Doesn't matter where you come from or what your background is. Doesn't matter. You shouldn't be using that word. I don't use that word personally.
Right. Well, let me just say that I don't know if these two people will use this word, but Nikki Haley. Well, who's Nikki Haley? I don't know why she's taken the new guy's side, but apparently there was a recent report that said that the current administration does believe in climate change and that humans have a role in it. United States Ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, told CNN's Jake Tapper in an interview on State of the Union on June 4th. Oh boy, let's take a brief look at this.
Let me show you what President Trump has tweeted about climate change. Quote, the concept of global warming was created by and for the Chinese in order to make U.S. manufacturing non-competitive, unquote. Are you willing to acknowledge that that is nonsense?
What I will tell you is the regulations from the Paris Agreement were disadvantaging our companies. We know that. I knew that as a governor. We know that now. The jobs were not attainable as long as we had to live under those regulations. It wasn't possible to meet the conditions under the Paris Agreement had we even attempted to do that. And so I think we have to look at what's realistic. We've got a president who is going to watch out for the environment. It's what we do. It's who we are. We're going to continue to be a leader in the environment. The rest of the world wanted to tell us how to do it, and we're saying we will do it, but we'll do it under our terms.
Now,
what terms are those?
I don't know what terms are those, but it's like, look, she was obviously she was a 116th governor of South Carolina from January 2011 to January 2017, and was the first female governor of that state and the second Indian American after fellow Republican Bobby Jindal, you know. But it's like, what do you have to say about that?
This woman, like, just watching her, I can tell, is like really trying to defend something that's not there or true, because like you can tell in the way she's speaking, like, we are for the environment. We have a president who will protect the environment. No, he will not.
Oh, well, now wait a minute, Max. Now wait.
What?
I know I want you to get in, but there's more to this.
Really?
She even continued on with her statement about the new guy believing in the climate change and did mention something about clubs.
I don't know about the club thing.
Take a look.
But the standards were set by the United States for the United States. But just to be clear on this, climate change
the standards were set by the standards were set by President Obama and not passed through the Senate because the standards couldn't have been achieved.
No, but my point is, you said that the world was imposing standards on the United States. President Obama, the president of the United States at the time, is the one who set the standards. But moving that aside for 1 second, I just want to be clear on this. You're not willing to acknowledge that calling climate change a Chinese hoax is just a big box of crazy.
President Trump believes the climate is changing, and he believes pollutants are part of that equation. So that is the fact. That is where we are. That's where it stands. He knows that that it's changing. He knows that the U.S. has to be responsible with it, and that's what we're going to do. Just because we got out of a club doesn't mean that we don't care about the environment.
Right. I'm sorry I fainted, but I just have one question, though. What the heck is she talking about? My gosh!
Oh my God.
Your mic still works, right?
Are people allowed to talk? Look at her. She looks like she's emotionally disconnected about everything that she's saying.
Well, why did she mention about the club? That's what I don't understand here.
I don't understand why you were on the floor.
I can bring some sense into that because of...
I don't understand what she was saying. That's why I was on the floor. She made me pass out with something.
Oh, well, I have something to say about that. In clubs, you know, a lot of people being together generates heat. So I think.
Yeah, but did they just go out and drink just because the climate is changing? Like, oh my gosh!
I think that's the most rational thing that I can think of about that, because when there's a lot of people together, it generates heat, and when they drink alcohol too. So I don't know.
Just because we got out of the club doesn't mean we don't know about climate change or something like that. She said, I don't know.
I don't know. She don't make sense at all here.
No.
I think we're all a little like lost about that.
Yeah. Well.
But this is the closest that I could think of, though. When there's a lot of people together, especially drinking alcohol, you know, generates heat, and it has to go somewhere. So I think it goes out into the atmosphere and causes
causes pollution,
climate change.
Like, we now know why.
We finally found the solution to everything.
Yes, it's because
don't go to clubs.
Right. Now we know
that's not.
Maybe that explains why
it's not
Trump
good for the
his ideas.
For the climate.
Like, do not drink alcohol. It will pollute the atmosphere. I don't think going to clubs and drinking will be beneficial. Like,
it will severely hurt the climate, and we're gonna speed the rate of global warming.
Right.
And we're gonna have natural disasters happening
what are you doing
around the world?
We'll
That's
be
basically
back.
what's gonna happen.
We'll be back.
Okay. Okay.
We'll be right back.
Hey, welcome back. I've recovered from the stupid Nikki Haley, and
I'm so glad.
Yeah. And I'm sorry I had to do this. I didn't mean to cut you off, but you know, we had to go here. But did you want to say something?
I took it so personally. I mean, like, I was really pissed off, and you know, like, we have to throw stones at you now. Just kidding.
Well, the cups are the next best thing to stones.
Hey.
Oh, we have these right here.
We have these new cups. They just came here. I'm so lucky that we have those, and we have to thank the people at Zazo who ordered these, and thank goodness. We have to thank them for that here.
Made in China.
Well,
the cause of all climate change, apparently.
Well, drink out of those. But
Tequila is delicious. Thank you for the tequila.
You're welcome.
Wait a minute. This is
this
not that kind of show.
Yeah. This is a
no
family
tequila,
show,
don't worry,
but
people.
no worries here. But you know who could never
Oh my
drink?
goodness.
You know who could have drank tequila? Tiger Woods.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of.
Yeah. Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods, whose dominance in golf gave way several years ago to missteps and misfortune away from the course, was arrested on Memorial Day, Monday, May 29th, and charged with driving under the influence. Woods was taken into custody at 3 a.m. in Jupiter, Florida, and was released the next morning, according to reports. Now, let me just also bring up the facts of what happened here. Like, he was asleep at the wheel, but when an officer approached Tiger Woods' car before his arrest, he was asleep at the wheel. But according to the police report released the next day after his arrest, which was, I believe, May 30th when that happened. But that's the case here, you know. And he did release a statement saying, "I want the public to know that alcohol was not involved. What happened was an unexpected reaction to prescribed medications. I didn't realize the mix of medications had affected me so strongly." What do you think?
Well, how long was he taking those medications?
Well, he probably may have been taking it for a while, because there are times you never know if he may be going through like a struggle with, I guess, with his girlfriend or so. I don't know what it could be, or you know, who knows?
You never get to know people really like in the public eye, because people will just say anything to get the crowd off of them, you know. Like, I don't know if he's just saying this or if this was really true. It sounds like a great, you know, reason for people to like dismiss it. Oh, I was taking medications and I didn't realize the severity of that. But I don't know how many times he has done this and allowed himself to take a risk and then drive, even under these circumstances. And this is the only time that he's gotten caught. So, you know.
Well, he's been caught cheating before. So, and I do mean romantic affairs. But
that's the time that he was caught, though.
That was, but I'm saying like he has.
It rains and pours.
Right. I was referring to like, well, he has been caught with cheating, and aside from this, but I mean, if an officer did say he was under the influence, I mean, it could be alcohol or it could be medication that makes you very slurry. If it's medication, either one of two things: either he's not paying attention to how he's supposed to take it, or he doesn't know, or he's just really just I don't know.
Yeah,
it could be either or. It could be medication.
It could be either one of those.
I know people, because people can get easily drowsy. That's where you got to know, because that's the thing. Celebrities, I don't know if he travels a lot anymore. I don't know what the deal is, because every time I hear about him, it's never anything good. But like, I'm serious. It's the only time I ever hear of him. I know who he is, but when he's in the news, the thing is, a lot of celebrities, they tend to have different doctors. So if he's one of those people that travels a lot and he has different doctors for different reasons and he gives them different medical records, he's probably not going to know what he reacts to, because some people can get drowsy, and you know he's not the youngest man in the world either. So maybe medication made him drowsy at the wheel and he didn't realize it, or maybe he is just lying about not drinking because he's already been in the news for nothing good before. So
Yeah, I can't remember. It was, I think, 2013 or a few years back. He was in the news when something with his
he had an
girl.
affair. Yeah,
with
he
an,
was.
with an affair. That's right.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, they made a big blowout out of it. Meanwhile, that's something that a lot of guys do, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good luck to them. But speaking of interesting behavior, Jerry Seinfeld has gone viral for an awkward exchange with pop star Kesha on the red carpet. Why don't you all take a look and see for yourself on what happened?
It's hard to just sleep when you're tired because people are tired most of the time.
Kesha, I love you so much.
Oh, thanks.
Can I give you a hug?
No, thanks.
Please?
No, thanks.
A little one.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Oh.
I don't know who that was.
Yeah, it was Kesha.
Okay, well, I wish her the best.
If many of you watch Seinfeld, you gotta understand that he is not a hugger here.
Well, we know that now.
Yeah.
I don't think we would. I mean, I don't know.
You can't just touch me the first time we meet.
Yeah. Well,
we have to go on a date first.
Yeah. Well, let me just give a little fact.
Oh, really?
Here.
I think he should go back.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Say what you were going to say.
I was going to just give a little fact about Kesha, who the 30-year-old songstress was recently in the news for filing her lawsuit against her former music producer, Dr. Luke, in which she accused him of sexually assaulting her. Now, wait a minute. What do you have to say? Now, back to you.
On Jerry Seinfeld or the
Or
sexual assault?
however you want it. Go ahead. Just however, either one or both.
He was talking about people being tired. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
And then he said no. She just like asking for a hug, and he was like, no, like that's absurd. Like why would you come? And then she was very strong though,
Yeah.
She was very like
like aggressive.
Yeah, like too aggressive. Like let me just show you. Could you get
she's being a fangirl.
Yes.
If that was anyone else, they'd be doing the same.
Yeah. Could you mind getting the clip up of an example of Jerry Seinfeld of hugging? Just show the clip here, because I want to show you something that would be interesting. Yeah. You see them? Look. There. That's it. You see them? Like.
That's That's him as a character.
Yeah, but he's playing Jerry Seinfeld, the character himself.
But those are people.
But
he sees every day.
Yeah, you're comparing two different scenarios. Number one, he didn't know who Kesha was.
Right.
She's being the fangirl at that point, which is fine, I mean, if I met my favorite artist, I'd be like, oh shoot, but obviously, look, to him, she's a stranger. You're comparing real life to a TV show from the 80s and 90s where he was clearly playing a fictional version of himself.
And it was awkward for him.
And besides, he's worked with those people for what, a decade at least?
Well, at least a decade, because Seinfeld's been on for 9 years.
Exactly, 9 years,
NBC.
just about a decade. So, don't compare those two.
I have learned you can't always be saying yes like that. And then she was very strong. We probably understand this, that he's a nice person, but you can't go up to a nice person and just attack them with a hug and say, hey, can you give me a hug? And just be so super aggressive like that.
I just want to get your point here. Whose side would you be on? Because take a look at Kesha's side. She has something to say with Fresh 102.7. Take a look.
My mom was just dumping buckets of glitter on me.
Oh, Mom helped you.
Oh, yeah. She's always very helpful.
Well, nobody pulls it off like you, so that's
Thank
fantastic.
you. I will never lose my love of glitter. That's I feel like that
Jeffrey
should
said.
feel like.
I think you're my soulmate.
It's synonymous with you.
Yeah, I feel like my fans, that should put them at ease a little bit. To know that I will always love glitter.
Maybe that's why, and I just realized this in the moment, maybe that's why the awkward thing happened with Seinfeld. Maybe he was like, it didn't want glitter on him. No, I'm seriously
That
like
was
trying
so
to piece
painful
this
to watch.
together.
If you were me, I would have so done that because he just embodies like the funnest guy.
Oh, he's like he's like one of my idols.
And he like broke my heart when I watched that video. I was like, how dare you do that to
It
her?
was glitter
I think
prevention.
I just scared the poor man. I honestly just think I had a little too much
Maybe you
energy.
came up too fast.
I
Yeah.
came up really fast. I have a lot of energy. I heard his voice. I got very excited.
Well, at least
And very rude too.
at least she was very. At least she admits to the fact that she.
I'm
came
very
off-
happy that she checked on herself. So I'm on her side with that.
Well, check out Seinfeld's point of view.
Gotta ask you, because it's gone, everyone's talking about it, the hug.
The hug.
The non-hug.
Yeah. I'm 63. I don't know every pop star. I don't know everyone.
But they say you're not a hugger now.
I'm not. Well, as a total
Come here,
stranger.
Jeff. You sure?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
But I know you
We're
how
gonna-
many years?
I'm just saying, though.
I know you 20 years,
You
I
took
think.
yeah, but
Honestly, how long are you at this record?
it's been a while.
How long?
Almost 20 years.
Okay, I know
Thank
you
Jer-
20
Thank
years.
you, Jerry.
Yeah.
Thank you. He's
Okay.
lying. Do you want to give her? You can give her
I
an air
just-
hug. You want an air hug her now?
Well, I was right in the middle of an interview. It was a little off. But when you get to be my age and you've done a couple things, you have your own reality.
Yes, I understand.
In my reality, I don't hug a total stranger.
Whose side are you on?
I'm on his side.
I'm on his.
Now wait a minute. You're on. First you go on Kesha's side, and then you go on Seinfeld's side.
I'm on Kesha's side about her checking herself about the hug.
Yeah.
I'm with her on that because clearly, she had to check herself on that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just come up, hello, I'm Kesha. Hello, shake my hand. But also, excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt your interview. She checked on herself, and I'm very happy about that.
Then how come we didn't see that in the original thing where he was being interviewed by Tommy McFly, I think, with WUSA 9?
Well, he's just. I don't know. It was a random moment. I mean, I remember like.
She interrupted her. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Look, no one's condoling her actions. I mean, to some degree, we can understand it. I mean, we all meet someone we like and we go like crazy like that. The funny thing is, what I liked though was that she was aggressive, but she was like, "Can I give you a hug?" Like she didn't just go for it. That would have been even worse.
At age
But,
63.
so like I didn't even know Seinfeld
That
was
would have been
63 years
terrible,
old.
by the way.
But yeah, look, there's nothing really serious about it. It's a little awkward because it's like, what? Jerry doesn't like hugs? So I'm like, well, not too many people do
he's
anymore.
63 and he does not know every pop star.
That's not.
And that's why he simply doesn't hug any strangers.
I'll never understand. Probably because I'm not his and nowhere near his age, but I never understand why age has to determine what you know in life.
Maybe there was a time when he used to hug everybody, but then he learned that he can't be hugging everybody like that so easily.
It's true. There might be a point.
Don't look at me like that. It's the truth.
Think about it. You don't hug everyone we greet each other, but you don't hug everyone like that.
No, I don't hug everyone. Personally, I refrain from hugging everybody. I shake hands a lot, and I give people like light pats and stuff.
See?
Just very light stuff.
Yeah.
Unless it's like my mom or my sister, I want to like hug them like a little teddy bear.
And best friends.
And best friends, yeah.
All right, cool.
I had to practice that, but yeah, I hug my best friends.
We'll be right back, all right? The premiere of Guiding Spotlight is next. Stay over there. Every New Yorker here who rides the MTA has a lot to say about it. Like us, for example. We use public transportation to get to our places where we need to go, but at times, there are so many things that the MTA does that gets us frustrated. Like fare hikes and train delays are a couple examples. We here, all of us at the Hot Topics table here at the Spotlight, have lots of issues and a say about the MTA. So in this week's newest segment called Guiding Spotlight, we will be tackling the issues of the MTA that many New Yorkers are facing. So no worries, New York. We got your back. We hear your voices because we feel your pain here, you know?
Yeah.
For sure. So we're going to begin with the MTA fare hike increase. Like back in March, the MTA voted to set a plan to increase the MTA fare. They did this by increasing the weekly MetroCard $1 from $31 to $32. They also increased the monthly by $4.50, while the base fare remained at $2.75, $2.75 to be specific, instead of raising it to $3 as the original plan. What do you have to say about that?
Well, that was out of compassion or what? Oh, no. Don't do the whole $3. That's too brutal. Let's just take a quarter off.
Right. I think
they kept it at $2.75. That's how it was been.
Yeah.
There would have been some serious war.
Yeah.
You know.
No. Oh yeah, they would have.
I would have had a flip like.
What? I think it has to do with the fact of this one video that was circling around Facebook of a guy complaining in his car. $3 for what, son? $3 for what, son? I think that was enough to be like, yeah, maybe we should. Because if this is this guy, imagine all of New York. We will all be copying him. Like, we will all be marching. $3 for what, son? $3. Like, maybe not those words, but like I'm glad they didn't do that. I mean, the weekly, okay, $1 more. For now, I guess it's not the worst thing, but I'm pretty sure once it hits 35 and higher, it's not going to be fun. And I'm glad they kept the baseline at $2.75, but now I'm just like, I wish we could go back to $2
or $1.
$1? Okay, first of all, that's a little too far back. $1. It used to be $1 like in the 80s or even right before.
Well, I remember it was $1 back when the new millennium started. For sure.
It was $1? I thought it was $2.
Yeah, it was around $1 to $2, but I think they probably were going back and forth between the two.
I think it hit $2 because I remember, I think either the $1.75 or $2 mark was the reason why they officially had to go to Metro cards, because tokens were able to cover you for like up till like I think the late 90s.
Right.
But because the Metro card was introduced in 1995, but it wasn't necessary because tokens were still able to cover you. But I think once it hit $2 or $1.75, I think that's when they switched it to Metro cards. Now it's not even. The thing is, like, it took a long time to even hit $2.50, but now it hit $2.50, $2.75 within a short period of time. Even now,
you also forgot when it hit $2.25 back in addition.
Oh yeah, $2.25.
Yes.
Like it used to happen like every maybe every presidential length, I would say, like maybe every decade,
or
close to it.
Almost every 2 years or somewhat. But
now it's every 2 years, or not even.
Or it varies, you know. But let me just say that MTA chairman Thomas Prendergrass, I keep calling him Teddy Pendergrass, you know, where he believes that the hike is fair. This is the lowest fare and toll increase we've had in the last number of years, but the cost increases with the inflation. With the rate of inflation is what he said. Like, do you really think the hike is fair or not?
No. I have a friend who lives in Los Angeles, and her fares are like $1 something for the bus and train.
I just think the quality of the service needs to get better as this inflation is happening.
Forget the quality, it's the freaking infrastructure.
Yes, everything.
Everything
has to get better because I should be getting to work on time.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I should get a public apology like this girl in Paris that we met.
Yes, we met. Explain.
Yeah, so we went to Union Square and we talked to a few civilians about what they thought about the MTA service. And we got 2 nines, which was actually pretty surprising. One of them was actually an MTA worker. We got 2 it sucks.
Yeah, and wasn't there also a 10 involved?
I don't remember a 10.
I may have
quality service.
Yeah, that would be
probably.
What?
Yeah.
I don't believe that for
it would be hard to believe.
Excuse me.
Because even I've seen the difference.
What about the Paris girl? The Paris girl we met. We met a girl from Paris.
Yes.
She told us about the service over there in Paris, and she also let us know that for the college students, they did some kind of discounts a month.
Right.
Also, she let us know about the public apologies. It wasn't like no brief apology. In Paris, they actually give you an official public apology. And I think that would be pretty awesome because it would do more for the people to calm down and like understand that they are acknowledged as individuals.
Right. Let me just also, when you mentioned about services, like, because, there are hundreds of passengers that get angered with over train delays and amount of services. And, we all get angered when we have to long wait times for the train to arrive. Even get angered when a train delay happens due to a sick customer, an investigation, incident, signal problems, real condition, train with mechanical problems. The list just goes on and on and on forever, But you did mention that. It's like, what could we do to improve the service and to decrease those delays? Because there are like many people when I'm looking at, there's like people are just becoming late from work, and this is probably why you look at the unemployment rate just slowly decreasing because of the service and delays the MTA is providing. Where with these delays here,
yeah, people are literally getting fired. I've seen videos of I think it was even on the news. They're saying, yeah, I've been late many times. I've been fired at one job because of this. And I'm not like, this is quoting someone else, like that he would say something that's on the news, that one guy even lost a previous job because of the MTA. And I've seen the difference myself. Like in high school, I used to take a specific hour of train. So like in rush hour getting to school, like a train would normally come at my station at 8:04. But as the years went on, it came later and later. So I even noticed that. But I think what would help, the ultimate solution I could think of is, it would take a long time, but they can do it quicker. Really reconstruct the infrastructure of the subway and build more subway lines. Nowadays, you need more subways. As the population increases, you got to find ways to construct more avenues to help the blood flow of the subway keep going, because at this rate, the subway system is very old, and they know that.
They have to come into the new century, right?
Exactly.
It's 2017.
I think, honestly, that there should be a law that protects people who are employed traveling in the weekends. There should be some kind of law that protects them, because the problem is that it's on us to leave earlier for work. We have to leave 2 hours earlier than we usually do to get to work on time. And that's kind of like unfair, because the fare isn't going down. We still have to pay the same amount. And if the trains get delayed, it's on us if we're late. And there should be some kind of law that protects us.
True.
We should still have to leave a certain time before getting to work. It shouldn't be on us that we get late to work.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
NTA Chairman Joe Lhota apparently had to make a comeback. I don't know why, but he announced a 33-point plan to stabilize and modernize the transit system. How? By testing an idea to remove some seats on some cars on the L train, as well as on the 42nd Street shuttle train line. And they do this to try to increase capacity on overcrowded trains. Like, what do you have to say about that?
That's not a solution. I just see that as a bigger problem. Like, I don't mind. Actually, I would like to see how it looks on the 42nd Street shuttle, just for laughs. I would love to see pictures of, like, so this is what a subway car looks like without seats. Because as much as stupid as the idea is, it's kind of funny. I'm curious. So go ahead with the Second Avenue, not the Second Avenue, but the 42nd Street shuttle. Try that.
And the L train as
and
well.
I don't know about the L train. That's still a regular subway line. It's not a shuttle that goes from one stop to the next. So try it on the shuttle, but honestly, that's not a solution. That's just, you're just being cheap and a little not all there. Yeah. Removing subway seats from old cars are not going to do anything.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. Well, let me just give you a few points that what happened at the conference with Lotus. They're like, the entire plan will cost about $8.8 billion, half of which will come for the city. Raising fares is not an option. Cars will be added to the trains on the C line, and I know we've talked about this backstage about it here. We were having a good discussion about it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And there will be overhaul digital communications and develop a new app. This is from Pix 11 from July 26, 2017. Like, Your thoughts, quickly?
Well, it's about time that the C train gets their extra little car there, because it hasn't just happened like one time or two times where I think the train is gonna get here and I'm gonna go inside the train, and no, I have to like walk like what's worth of 2 carts over.
Yeah, look, I just want to show a clip of the struggle many New Yorkers face with the MTA here. Take a look.
That's happened to me a few times. Sardines in a can.
That's funny. Oh man, I actually, you know what's funny? I just had an experience on Saturday night. So this is the 4 train, the conductor car.
This was one night, huh?
Yeah, this was the other night. A girl literally comes in, and her leg gets stuck in the door. The conductor can clearly see that she's struggling. She still tries to close the door on her leg.
Oh, wow.
And then she opens the doors.
This is the struggle New Yorkers
There's your
face
lesson.
here.
I'm just like, you know, the thing was like she knew she was right there. Instead of just opening the door, she tries to still let it shut on her.
Yeah.
And believe me, those doors hurt. I've had my hand
Extremely
crushed on them.
dangerous, yeah. But let me just also say that the MTA has come up with a new plan to become more courteous and pregnant to elderly and disabled commuters by using courtesy buttons. These are to help identify those who are in need of a seat here. And you know, is this gonna work with these courtesy buttons with baby on board and please offer me a seat?
I'm pretty sure the big pregnant stomach is enough to know that you give up the seat to a pregnant lady.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the need for a button. I mean, it's cute, but I don't see the point. I don't see it doing anything.
Yeah. Quick thought here, Stephanie. You go ahead.
I just think that they need to see what are the bigger problems, because there's a bigger problem.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that this whole seat thing, I think there's something better that you can do with removing the seats from the train. I don't think you should remove the seats from the train.
No.
You should do the whole open and close door, open and close seats, they should do that.
Right.
Actually, yeah, that's actually a good idea. Just make them more folded. Just make them folded.
Yeah, folded seats.
Let me just say, but before we go to break, you know, I plan on doing something that I feel that this is gonna work. I plan on creating soon. Here, so I was watching The View the other day, and Whoopi made something that I found very interesting and hilarious of doing. Let's take a look at it. This is gonna be funny.
I felt that this would help and be much better.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Oh my God, what are you eating? That is a bad smell. We try on our trains not to make anybody have to sit next to stinky food. Put your food away. Oh my God, are you really clipping your fingernails? Yes, I can see you. And you know what? I am the train god, and I'm telling you one more thing. If you don't put those clippers away, I'm gonna put them where the sun don't shine.
You should be meaner, a little meaner. Do it.
Well,
do it really mean.
I just feel like someone. Well, I did one which they will not allow me to do because they are concerned about a certain word.
Oh, I know.
Yes, and so I'm not going to do it, but I really want to.
You're gonna see it real soon because I'm right behind you on that, Whoopi. Don't worry, because I know I have that same issue as well, and we all do here. So, on that note, we'll be right back.
This has been Guiding Spotlight. We'll be right back.
Hey y'all, we just want to give a special thanks to Stephanie De La Cruz and Maximilian Mejia for stopping by and for co-hosting today. You can see why the studio I've been taken down because, you know, we're out of time. And
that we are.
Yeah, and on that note, we want to say thanks for you two. Thanks, Stephanie, and thanks, Max, for coming.
You're welcome.
Thanks to you for watching. Good luck, be well, be safe, have a great week, and take a little time to have fun and enjoy the spotlight.